Hey, so I wanted to go over 2 days worth of your food logs. So, if there is a such thing as a perfect day in hitting your macros, it would be yesterday. So, the number one thing that you want to be aware of is doing incorrect portions, which a lot of people do. And so we try to get as close as we can, and leaving stuff out like forgetting to log stuff that we snack on at the end of the day or at night, or something that we just totally omitted from logging, which sometimes that happens. Like, say we forget we had a couple bites of Susie's donut at lunchtime or whatever it is. But the goal is to really just get as close as you can with accurate portions and the foods that you ate. So then you have the most accurate calories and macros that you can view. So I always say everyone should go under a little bit their calorie mark, because typically we've gone over a little bit. And usually that's with things as easy as like stuff like orange juice or sauces that we dip in. Those types of things are sometimes forgotten about. So it's good to undershoot a little bit with your calories, because typically we go over that with portions and different things like foods like that anyway. So this is pretty much a perfect day. I mean, hitting your protein is always first and foremost going to be the most important thing, especially when you're building muscle and working out. You need that protein to repair, build, replenish, to stay fuller. You need so many different reasons why you need enough protein. You'll get more results, maximize results, instead of half the results that you deserve, because you're only getting 50 grams of protein a day. So that's why we're focusing on this week, like, what foods are your preferences, and getting to know, like, for protein, what protein foods are your preferences, and which ones you will get to know that are leaner options. Although you can fit in some higher fat proteins accordingly in your day and in your week. It just depends how the rest of your day looks around that. Like, for example, sometimes I have steak for dinner, which is obviously higher in fats, way higher in fats than leaner options. So I know that I'm not going to fit in a ton of avocado or oils or higher fat carbs in my day. I'm sort of saving a lot of my fats for that steak dinner. So those are kind of things that you'll intuitively learn how to navigate your day, and that makes all the difference between somebody who is just following a meal plan and who is doing this. Because you'll take this with you for a lifetime and know how to intuitively navigate your days with your macros. So yeah, you did a great job, and it's awesome that you had sushi, that you had things you loved. For the Fairlife, try to get the fat-free, unless you really like the whole, but it'll expend less fats doing the fat-free. I go back and forth between the two. It just depends on the day. But yeah, it was a great day. You had snacks that you liked. You had, pasta, sushi, and you were very close to your carbs, and your fats were great, and your protein was great. Like, you were at least at 100 grams of protein. I always say, rule of thumb, at least 100 grams of protein if all else fails. Like, if your whole day was crazy and jacked up, at least know that you got 100 grams of protein in, and it's somewhat okay. But yeah, you were very close to your fats and carbs, and your overall calories were great. So let's look at Sunday real quick. I want to look at Sunday real quick to do. Actually, hold on. Actually, let's look at Monday. Okay. So you're at 94 grams of protein, 51 grams of fat, and 184 grams of carbs. So this was probably one of the days where you said, I can't eat any more protein because I'm going to go way over my fats. And that's a common, typical, one of the most number one things that everybody has to work on is how to not go over your fats, but fit in the right amount of carbs and proteins. So that's why you're basically going to always focus on complex carbs, which are leaner, low-fat carbs, or smaller portions of your simpler carbs, like fruit, crackers, etc. And focusing more on leaner proteins because we don't want to expend a bunch of our fats in our carbs and proteins. I always say to somewhat omit a lot of fat-dense foods for the beginning until we learn how to navigate our day better, because fitting in a lot of things like butters, oils, avocados, nuts, a lot of those things are going to definitely set our whole entire day over in our fats if we're trying to add those in. So I try to omit those just for the first phase, or for the first couple months, until we learn how to hit our macros better. Yes, healthy fats are amazingly healthy with so many benefits, but I would rather have you learn how to hit your macros first and then add in your healthy dense fats to fit in your fat grams bracket for your macros. Hopefully that makes sense. So let's look at your foods. Let's see what types of things sort of expended a ton of fats. So we're going to look at your proteins and carbs. So usually our carbs will set us over in fats easily. So tortilla chips, yeah. And you can always have tortilla chips. It's just maybe making the portion a little bit smaller, so you can go about the rest of your day eating the foods that you are intending on eating. Let's see. I'm just looking at your foods. So cream cheese. Okay, so it's basically the pepperoni, the cream cheese, and the tortilla chips. And you're going to get fats out of your other foods as well, but a huge bulk, like big amounts, larger amounts, are in those types of foods. A lot of meats like salami, sausage, bacon, steak, pepperoni, those type of things have higher fats in smaller servings. So it's really easy to go over. So a lot of times just try to reportion some of the things you ate instead of feeling like you have to cut them out. Just reportion them, because I don't want anyone to feel like they are restricted or they have to cut out anything. It's more so about reportioning some of those things and then adding in some other things that you need, like some leaner proteins, in order to bump up the protein and lower the fats. But yeah, I mean, that was a great day too. A great day in terms of your calories and your macros, and your macrograms make up your calories. So yeah, you could have just reportioned some of the pepperoni and tortilla chips, and then that would have lowered your fats a little bit, and then you could have added in even one more protein serving, and it would have been a perfect day. So those little adjustments, and they're easy too, easy adjustments. Those little easy adjustments make all of the difference. It's just more so about knowing how and knowing what and where. So that's why each week you'll get to know you get to understand this more and more. And I'm also going to make a visual post picture of this as well, so you can actually view it and have. And also make sure to make an album in your phone labeled health and fitness or whatever, so you can save a lot of these pictures or diagrams or anything that I send you. So I'm going to send that over today as well. And make sure you go over that protein document and choose and write down your favorite protein sources and items that are becoming your preference, like the ones that you love and like over ones that you don't. So say you like shrimp better than salmon, or say which shrimp is a leaner protein. Say you like shrimp, say you like Fairlife milk, you like a certain protein powder, you like a certain protein bar, and protein bars are hard to find a lean option of that tastes good. So if you do happen to find one that you love, stick with it. So write down all of your protein items that are your favorites, and just keep adding to it as the months go by with things that you find and things that you realize you like better than others. So that's this week's assignment, is protein. Going over that protein module and starting a list of your favorite proteins and just continuously adding to it. I hope that helps so much. Let me know. Give me some feedback.